Hey guys, it's Adriana again from the Tiny Garden Habit, and today is going to be kind of an unconventional video because I'm in a forest near my house right now. I was thinking of taking a walk to get some peace and quiet and a little bit more nature than my garden has to offer. And today I want to talk to you about motivation in gardening and in life in general. If you're an impatient person in general, then you, my dog is impatient, then you're probably an impatient gardener, and that's kind of a bad combination. And I know I'm impatient. When I look at my garden, there are so many things I want to change, and frankly right now it's looking kind of sad, which in the past has been a reason for me not to start a YouTube channel, because I thought I needed to have this picture perfect image, everything nice and curated for the camera, and that's just not real life. But if I force myself to be patient, then a lot of good things come to those who wait. And beautiful things like gardening take a long time to truly pay off. And I can only talk from my example and share my story. In the autumn of 2018, we bought this old house. It was built in 1938, and it was a mess. I mean, it was beautiful in its own way. It was wild and nature had spread its vines and growth everywhere. But we had a lot of work to do. So the first thing we did was clear everything and then turn an old animal shed into a tiny house so that we could live there while we gathered enough money to renovate the main house. And in this process, after we built the tiny house and everything was left in shambles as a construction site, the next step was building a new garden. And we didn't have the funds to do anything fancy. There are so many things that we still need to do, like I'm dreaming of nice, beautiful trellises and better materials for my raised beds, and I'm thinking to put a fence in there and a beautiful garden shed and all that. So there's just so much stuff to be done in the future. But right now, all that matters are the essentials. So it doesn't matter how my beds look, it matters what's inside them. And it matters what's inside my head and what I'm learning in the process. So I'm trying to, since I'm very aesthetical about things and I need my house to look nice and I need my garden to look nice, it's only natural, but since I don't have that yet, I need to be patient and I need to leverage delayed gratification. So the other thing that's killing our motivation is the fact that we are not starting small enough. Myself included here. We want everything to happen at once, and then we get in over our heads and we can't really sustain that effort, so we give up. And this happened to me with gardening. In 2017 I started my first garden, raised bed style. It was a square meter. That was it. That was everything. 1 square meter with the square foot gardening method, and I did it for a while, but then I was disenchanted because I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't want to garden there anymore. I wanted my own space. I was frustrated that we weren't moving in on our property soon enough. So I gave up. But if I hadn't given up and just continued to do things on a small scale, I'm sure by now I would have made a lot more progress. The same goes for going in debt and buying a house or renovating a house or just signing on to do these kind of responsible things because we want to go big or go home, and then it brings us a world of pain. And so starting small and just doing these tiny steps, one step at a time, but consistently, is the way to go in the long run, because it's going to bring us a lot more achievements. So with gardening, maybe that means staying within your comfort zone for the time being and planting the plants that you know will go well, and just adding one plant at a time to learn how to grow, or improving your garden design or garden space one thing at a time each year, so that you don't spend too much money, or making your own compost, or just getting creative with stuff you have lying around the house. Another thing that might help with your gardening motivation is asking for help, because there are going to be a lot of things that you won't be able to do by yourself. Now, as a woman and as a person who's not very talented with woodwork and digging and stuff that requires a lot of physical effort, I know that I can't be doing a lot of things, physical things in my garden, like installing new raised beds and putting heavy wooden posts in and stuff like that. So I need help for that. So I can either hire someone to do it or ask my poor husband to do it, which it was the thing I chose in the end. So you might need some help with things like that, but also you might feel kind of down and you might not feel like gardening, and sometimes if you just ask a friend over to help you with watering or picking your vegetables, or just gifting vegetables and asking people to come over, or cooking for them, those are all great ways to give you purpose and help you boost your motivation for gardening. And lastly, remember why you started this in the first place. What was your reason for gardening? Now, in my case, I started gardening because I wanted nutritious, clean plants that would offer all the necessary nutrients for my body, because my gut is very sensitive to chemicals, and many times I'm in a lot of pain and a lot of spasms because of the things I eat. So that was one of the main reasons. And the other reason was spending time outside and having a place to unleash my anxious energy. Because when we're stressed and anxious with our daily lives and jobs, we need to do something with that energy instead of worrying and randomly scrolling the internet and our phones. So especially during the pandemic, when I started this garden, which I planned to start anyway, so it wasn't the pandemic alone that motivated me to do this, but especially in the pandemic, gardening was an ideal outlet to keep me distracted from all the craziness that was going on. So your reasons might be different, but it does matter to stay connected to that reason and that purpose. So with all that being said, I wish you all the best. I wish you a great season, and I hope we stay in touch. I hope you follow me and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. All the best. Bye.